Yeah, this is a correctional review uh, for the design replica Prince Sonny made. So this is what he did, and this is the original design. You did very well. You tried. I must commend you for that. I'll tell you something about brand, and I want you all to listen to this. Very little secrets in major brands are what makes it easy for you to recognize a fake product from the original one. Okay, so what I'm saying is this: there are things that every other designer can't easily find out or fine tune from a design, and they will make it the way they perceive it, and it will be very easy for users who have clear cognizance of the brand identity to notify or to get to understand that this is different from what they used to see. Okay, so I would like to point out a few things. I will talk about the gradients which you didn't use. I'm not talking about the color because you can use any color. It's okay. The color you use here, I think, is still close to what I expected. But the gradients is missing. That's number one. Number two, I have a shadow over here, and this shadow, I thought you saw it in the geometric design. This is it. This is the curve that forms the shadow. So this is a second layer, a second stroke. Let me show you from the main design. So if I pull this out, you see what left here, it becomes as empty as what you have now. Okay, so these basically two different layers of the same design forming just one design. So you missed this out, and this is a fail. That is one. Number two I would like to point out is the use of shadows. You used a very bad format of shadow. You tried anyway, but it shows that you are an amateur, if I'm to use that word. Yes, because you don't create stuff that look like a shadow when they are not shadows. You created this and it looks like a shadow, but it's not a real shadow. This is not a real shadow. When you know a real shadow is when you take it to a white background, it maintains the color. Okay, I will tell you why it's important to note that. So this is a real shadow. You see it maintains the same color. It doesn't go with the color of the background, but look at what we have in yours. Okay, so this is not a real shadow. That is number one. Number two, you created a shadow cutting out the part of the logo, which makes it difficult for your clients to edit this work. If they want to walk around with this formal one, it is very easy. They can say, let me remove the shadow and just leave the logo this way. But in this turn, if they remove this shadow, they have a scattered or distorted edges. So you did this for all of them, and I don't know why you did it that way. So you have to listen and learn why some things work in some way and better ways to do it. I'm not teaching you how to do logos, how to design logos, or how to do stuffs, or how to make stuffs work. I'm teaching you how to do the things you know how to do in a better way. Okay, that's why I'm here. I'm not classifying myself as I'm better than anyone in the group. No, I'm not doing that, and I have never done that, and I will never do that. Okay, so I love you all. I have you guys in mind. I do not intend in any way using what I know to subdue anyone. No. If I see you improving, I give you kudos. I expected you to do something better than this, and I would have even been impressed. I would have rewarded you in the group. I would have done that. But if you have fucked up more than this, I would have kicked you out of the group for a couple of days. I intended doing that too, but you impressed me here, so I think it's a win-win game. You go halfway. Kudos for that. So now I was talking about the shadows. You don't make shadows of the same color. Okay, it's not a shadow. What you just did here, you made this color darker. So simply selecting this color and you make it darker this way, and that's what you use for the shadow. This is what you use for the shadow, closely to that. So but that's not what we are trying to achieve. Okay, shadows should be this way. If per adventure you created shape. Let me use green for instance, and you want to create a shadow. Let me say I want to create a shadow with the same box. So I duplicate the box. What I'm gonna do is to make this black. I'm just teaching you how to create shadows now. Okay, you can select the both of them. You can use this to remove this part which you don't want. So select this again, then go to your opacity. You can reduce the size, the opacity of that color. It becomes automatically a shadow. Okay, so you can remove it and still maintain the same side. You can also make this a white shadow depending on the color. There are colors that deserves white shadows and colors that deserves black shadows, so whichever works best for you. But that's basically how to create a shadow, and that's what you missed here. Okay, and that was my worst. Okay, that's not my worst. Look at my worst now. My worst is these anchors. Okay, these anchors, I have a little issue with them, and that's why I created extra artboards to teach you something. So when you are creating, let me pull this out and pull mine out. I will increase the size so everyone can see, and I pull this one out and I also increase the size so everyone can see. So if you see the difference between these, okay, added a shadow here, that's okay, but I don't think we need that now. We don't need that. So I like what you did here. Okay, but you did the opposite of what I expected. There is a white color at this edge. Let me show you. This is only a gray color here, and there is no color here at all. No color here. Let me show you how that works. And now let me show you, there is no color, basically almost no color here, but you reduce the opacity to 20. That's not how you work. Okay, so now this part is where it's going to be transparent, but yours here is not transparent. Here is pure white. So we select this and we go to the gradient. See the gradient, this is what is transparent. If you see it, it's raised to 0 over here. This gradient, and this color over here is okay as it is. It is a gray. Okay, the color at the left is a gray and the color at the right is transparent. But in your case, we have the color at the right is black. You reduce it to 20%. No, then the color at the left is pure white. Okay, so this is where you made the mistake. This is where you made the mistake. I'll show you how that's a mistake if you move these stuffs to a different background. You see it? So mine maintained this color and there is a transparency here, but you can't see clearly what is going on here. Okay, which means this thing can still be indifferent. Let me change the color of this background so you can also understand better. So if you change this to green, it automatically changes to green, but yours doesn't change to green. So what you did, it was like you tricked the person to thinking that this is transparent. But what if your client moves this logo to a different background? It will be gray and white, whereas it's supposed to be a transparent color and a light white. So here is another place you made mistake, and this is a big problem from my own end, because there is a purpose for this. Yes, there's a purpose for this. If in case you want a curve to end at a point and at the other point you don't want it to be visible. Let me show you where that works. So this is an instance, another instance of it. So you see this angle, I want the color to show as if this arrow comes from this side and this other side there is nothing here. So when you place this logo, if it was in your format, it will be this way. If you select this, you are going to make this black or whatever color you want to make it, then reduce the opacity to whatever size you want. Then if you move this color, even if you reduce it to 0, if you move this color to another background, automatically that angle is going to cover with the color you filled it with. You are tricking the person to understand that this is okay on a, let me show you what it did. You are tricking the person to understand that this is okay on a black background. But what happens if this becomes a white background? You see? So if it becomes a white background, the person will now start seeing shadows, and this is just plain. It doesn't make any sense. Okay, this is just plain, it doesn't make any sense. So those are the few errors I think you need to pick note of. I never wanted to talk about this now, but I had to. So in summary, one, be careful about brand concepts. If you look at stuff, don't just perceive them as they are. Study, take time and study designs. Okay, study professional designs, especially if a professional is designing. Be careful, don't just open your mouth and talk in public. Even if you want to talk, let it be private. Okay, I would have scolded you that for that, I would have, but I forgive you for doing that. I don't expect it from you or any other person in the group. Whatever assignment I give there, even if you can do it or you can't do it, I want everyone to participate. Okay, do what you are, don't boast about what you can do. We are not here for boasting, we are here for learning. Okay, and there are things you think you might know but you don't really know how to do it, or you are even stressing yourself to do it. Okay, so pick note of this. One, your gradients, make sure you add some light soft or soft looking gradient to your most of your work. Not every work that deserves a gradient. And two, you can add shadows at the main icons. Then in the secondary icon, in the primary icon, I mean in the secondary icons, you can add other shadows, but work well with your shadows. Don't make a shadow that will trick people to believing something works when it doesn't actually work. Okay, so those are the mistakes I think I found out in this. I don't think I have any other future problems from what you did. From what I am seeing, it's okay to an extent, but work on them again and let's see if you can do something better than this. So that's it, that's for it, guys. Like I said in the earlier, this is a correctional revision. Okay, and you guys have seen how it's go. I will be making another concept of this logo probably tomorrow or so, how we achieved it. And this is for educational purposes. Everyone just have to learn. There are people in the group who don't know how to do it. So even if you know how to do it, closely how to do it, or exactly how to do it, if you don't know what to say, you can keep quiet. Okay, keep quiet so other people can learn. And if you feel you are satisfied enough, you have gone to the stage, a level of design that you don't need to learn anything anymore, you can quit from the group and allow people who are good to learn. Okay, thank you all and enjoy the rest of your night.